Welcome back everyone, my name is Rafoho and today we're gonna be diving into a short comparison in Battlefield 6 in 1080p versus 1440p. And we will take a closer look at performance, visuals and what resolution gives you the better experience in my personal opinion playing with a 2060 RTX GPU with 6 GB of VRAM. On the top left corner, you will notice the MSI Afterburner running. So this is actually an older version that still works with Battlefield 6. The newer versions won't work because of the Javelin anti-cheat system, but luckily I didn't realize I had it like outdated. I was able to record it. Performance-wise, CPU usage sits around, well, 90 to 92%, sometimes a bit lower, a bit higher. This is a CPU demanding game, and you can see it here. FPS is stable, usually between 57 to 60, but in some places with some explosions it will definitely drop a little bit to 55. But as long as you are sitting in a place with no explosions and no tanks, because less explosions gonna make the game feel like less heavy, let's say it like that, because all of the explosions and buildings falling apart are just very demanding for all the graphics cards and the CPU. Something very important to say is that actually all the games that play with a higher resolution will not only look better, but the CPU usage is gonna be a lot lower than playing in 1080p. That is because the charge on all the heavy work is gonna be done by the GPU instead of the CPU. So that's something very useful to know, that in higher resolutions the GPU is gonna work a lot more than the CPU, than in lower resolutions it is the CPU that's gonna have to put a lot more of work, and the GPU is not gonna be used at the 100% of all of its power. So that's something very important, you know. Maybe you see your CPU is being used to like 100% and your GPU is like around 50. Maybe you have to change to a higher resolution and you can take off some work from the CPU. Now we're gonna see it on the 1440p resolution, and I want to thank you for making it this far into the video. If you like the content, please give it a like, subscribe, and stay tuned to see more Battlefield 6 content as soon as the game drops. By the way, I play with RTX 2060 of 6 GB of RAM. My CPU is an E5 of 10400F, and I got 32 GB of RAM of 2400 megahertz, and the game installed on an SSD of the Kingston mark is the name, I think. And yeah, well, that's like the regular SSD. So the game in 1440p, you will see that right away the game looks sharper, a lot more details, and of course you will notice that you lose some FPS and the CPU usage drops like very significantly. So I do believe that in my personal opinion, playing from like 45 to 50 is like perfectly playable, but maybe not as competitive for other players. So might have preferred like higher FPS with 1080p. Even though the frame rate is lower, I do believe that it is better in 1440p because it is easier to see the enemies. You will see that the game feels like very smooth and the visuals are just beautiful. I'm playing with everything low except by the texture that they are in the high, I think, and DLSS is on, but in the performance option. So I do believe that the game has some space yet to improve in terms of performance. It is not perfect. I felt like sometimes I had some FPS drops and well, the main problem being the TDD, or time to die, was just too quickly. So I would blame that more with the internet connection, that, well, the personal hardware that everyone is gonna have. I do believe that they're gonna improve a lot of things for when the game first comes out. And hope you like the video. And if you want to see more content, don't forget to subscribe. Leave me a comment. What do you think? Do you believe the game is better at 1440p, 1080p, maybe 4K? Who knows what you are playing? So well, don't forget the game will eventually uh, don't look the same if you are watching it in a 1080p monitor. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. I am Rafoho. Hope you're having a wonderful day, just as me, and I will see you in the next time. Peace.